You spend the entire day exhausted, dragging yourself through work. But the second your head hits the pillow, your nervous system flares up and your brain jolts awake, leaving you trapped in a highly stressful state of physical alert. Humans have been fighting this biological glitch for a long time. The writer Dorothy Parker perfectly captured the specific agony of losing the knack for sleep, wondering if she should try busting herself smartly over the temple with the nightlight just to get some rest. Modern medicine typically approaches the struggle mechanically. The standard clinical response treats sleep like a simple circuit board, prescribing heavy sedatives to forcibly flip the switch in the brain from on to off. There is a flaw in this approach. Prescription sleeping medications often interfere with the brain's ability to enter REM sleep, the phase where data is organized and memories are consolidated. You might be unconscious, but you are often missing the restorative rest your brain requires. Chronic sleeplessness is rarely a psychological failing or a guaranteed penalty of aging. Frequently, it is a straightforward manufacturing error. Your body simply ran out of the physical raw materials required to build sleep. To see how the body manufactures sleep, look at this metabolic pathway. It begins with an essential amino acid called tryptophan. The brain must first convert tryptophan into serotonin and then convert that serotonin into melatonin, the hormone that governs our deep sleep cycles. The process hits a severe bottleneck right at the blood-brain barrier. Tryptophan is the least plentiful of the amino acids we consume. To get into the brain, it has to fight through a barricade of tightly packed cells, and it routinely gets crowded out by larger, more abundant amino acids competing for the same entry points. This cellular traffic jam is exactly why the childhood remedy of warm milk and a cookie works. It is actually an effective biological hack. Eating a small sweet treat before bed spikes your blood sugar. As a wave of insulin washes in to manage that sugar, it grabs those bulky, competing amino acids and transports them into your muscle tissue. With the competitors cleared off the board, tryptophan has a wide-open path across the barrier. But delivering the raw materials to the brain is only the first step. To actually assemble that tryptophan into serotonin, your brain requires a specific chemical catalyst. That catalyst is magnesium. It is an absolute requirement for the metabolic steps that process neurotransmitters, and the modern diet is severely deficient in it. When your body's magnesium supply runs dry, the resulting insomnia rarely happens in isolation. The deficit triggers warning lights across entirely different physiological systems, symptoms frequently misdiagnosed as unrelated diseases. The first alarm often sounds in the legs. You might experience a restless urge to move or excruciating night cramps. Muscles rely on calcium to contract, but they require magnesium to successfully relax again. A second warning light is frequent nighttime urination. The bladder is a muscular sac that stretches as it fills. If a shortage of magnesium prevents that smooth muscle wall from completely relaxing, its capacity shrinks, prematurely signaling the brain that it needs to be emptied. Then comes the psychological toll, a hovering, unexplained anxiety. Without magnesium, the brain lacks the necessary cofactors to produce the specific chemical transmitters that allow the nervous system to calm down. This documentation shows why the deficit is so common among aging populations. Standard blood pressure medications, especially diuretics, increase urine flow. This flushes water-soluble minerals straight out of the system, creating a continuous, unmonitored drain on the body's magnesium reserves. Treating the leg cramps, the anxiety, and the insomnia with 3 different prescription drugs misses the underlying biology. They are interconnected distress signals pointing directly to a systemic physical drain. Most doctors miss this diagnosis during routine checkups because standard blood tests for magnesium are structurally unreliable. The medical literature explains why. The body only keeps about 1% of its total magnesium tightly regulated in the bloodstream, prioritizing the amount needed to keep your heart beating. The rest is stored away in muscle and bone. Consequently, a blood test will look normal, even while the rest of your body is starved of the mineral. This hidden chemical shortage is compounded by our environment. The sharp glare of city street lamps leaking through bedroom curtains mimics early dawn, tricking our internal clock into halting melatonin production prematurely. The solution is not to overpower the brain with heavier sedatives. The fix requires deliberately rebuilding your internal chemical supply chain. You have to listen to the physical alarms, the muscle tension, the sudden anxiety, the twitching calves. By addressing the mineral deficit through targeted nutrition, blocking out the light, and protecting your reserves from intense stress, you give your body the tools to repair itself. Every night, the brain engages in a nutrient-hungry construction project that requires us to supply the specific physical tools it needs for rest.